Hi guys, this is Gigi coming on today. I want to talk some more about the cruises that I used to go on back in the day because I'm just like reminiscing and remembering all the good times, some bad times too, but they're mostly good times. And one thing I remember about how it used to be versus how it became, and it may not have anything to do with the cruise line itself, but we used to listen. They would have like an island band on the ship that would play popular music, like island music, like maybe like back when I was going on there, they had like calypso, like Harry Belafonte, Deo, and trying to think of what else back then when Harry Belafonte was around. It was a lot of like popular music, but they even used to on the ships I went on. They had, I remember this one guy. His name was Austin somebody, but I think he was Jamaican, and he could blow. He was a balladeer. I mean, he was singing like Broadway music hits and stuff like that, along with like calypso and stuff. He was very versatile. And then the reggae came on the scene, Bob Marley. Now, see, when I went to Jamaica, that was before Bob Marley really got popular. So they weren't playing any Bob Marley music on the ship when I was on there, but he ended up becoming a superstar. In fact, I saw him twice in concert. Yes, I did. But yeah, they always would have a band, island band on the ship, and you could go up to like certain areas, like a lounge or something. Certain time of day they would play, and you could lay up there like sipping on your pina colada or your Planters punch or whatever, and listening to the music. And they had some catchy little you know rhymes like what's the song about? If your mother and your wife were drowning, I would like to know which one you would be saving. And the Mighty Sparrow, he had a lot of good music. I think if he wasn't Jamaican, he was from Trinidad. I hope I got it right. But man, the Mighty Sparrow, he had some bad hits. Shaman Scandal in the Family. I think everybody was singing that song back in the day. Your daddy ain't your daddy because your daddy don't know, and your mama ain't your mama, and all that kind of stuff like that. And I'm trying to think. Then soca came on the scene. Now, when soca came on the scene, I think they came from Trinidad, but I don't know if they were doing any soca music on the ship because by that time I had got married and I was having children, so I wasn't doing any cruising at that time. But it's always good, like if you like going on a cruise and you're on the way down to, like Trinidad or Jamaica, somewhere like that, and they're playing that music, from the origin is in the place where you're going. It's like preparing you for what you're gonna, witness when you get there. It's like so exciting. That's how it was for me. Now, say then they changed it, the music type. And I'm not knocking people because, hey, it happens in the States. It happens everywhere. Things change. I mean, you're talking about over 55 years ago. But I never was into the dance hall. Okay, that's what happened in Jamaica. Because, like, I remember when I was in Jamaica, the first time I went to Jamaica, we went to the Joker's Wild. It was a disco in Montego Bay. And they were doing da 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 bump bump bum, bum. I don't know what that was, but I remember some 50 some years later, I was on a Norwegian Caribbean ship, and this guy that was in a band, in an island band, he was using that for like a warm up. I was like, wow, I haven't heard that since 1969. He was like, yeah, I that's what I use. If I can find that clip, I'm going to play it so you can hear it. But anyway, yeah, so the dance hall kind of, they probably did play that like later on the ship, but that's something that was for the young people. And see, this is the thing, in my opinion, you do have to play to the masses. You just can't single out like I'm going to target this one particular group, the kind of music I'm going to be playing. But let me say this, the older folks, don't count us out. You know what I mean? Because I remember talking to this guy, as a white guy, and we were reminiscing about how the cruises used to be, and he loved that island music. So that's something. I mean, if somebody could put together like a cruise where they would have all different types of island singers, calypso, all that stuff, man, I'm betting that I know that thing would sell out. I know I would get as many people as I could. You could be listening to the music going down the Caribbean Sea and all that kind of stuff like that, and then coming back. But no, I just wanted to share that with you because, like I said, it's different now. It's really different. And I know change is good. Change is good. But sometimes, when you go back and reminisce on like what it used to be, there was nothing like it. I'm telling you. A guy named Neville from Barbados. What was the song he used to sing? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. He sung a lot of songs, but it was a lot of good memories. I'm telling you, a lot of pleasant memories. I was so blessed. I was really blessed. But just wanted to share that with you. Going back to the cruising days in the 60s and the 70s. Take me back. And let me add this. I forgot about this in my earlier videos. When I first started cruising, guess what? There was no Carnival. There was no Royal Caribbean. I take that back. There was not a Royal Caribbean until like a year or so after Norwegian Caribbean came on the scene. And Carnival had one or two old rinky-dinky ships. One of them was called the Dolphin, I believe. Rinky-dink. They've come a long way, okay? I remember when. But anyway, thanks for coming by and, listening to my nostalgia like the good old days. And please like and share if you are into my content. Thank you. Blessings.